Alright, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. Here on my channel, Idle Wisdom. We are rejoining the Believers colony here on Alpha Centauri, of course. Here's our ally, the Morganites. They seem to be doing an okay job of expanding, although they're doing most of their expanding in my direction. I think they need to go up, or north. They have all this area, and they just could be coming down this way, trying to cut me off. It's rude. Very rude, sir. And we have mine worms, so we don't want our colony pod getting caught by that. Or sure, you will go this way. What are you doing? You need to make more.
Terraform complete.
Okay. St. Augustine built a sea colony pod. Now, what should we do here? That's a good question, right? I am wondering, do you think I should build a naval yard? I think so, since they're out in the sea. Now, where to build? If we were to build, I could put a town right here on this, and I would use this area, or I could put a sea colony right here. I don't know. That's a good question. Or let's see, what else can we do with this sea colony pod? Where could we tell it to go? We could tell it to go over here. That's not a bad. Well, though, we could put a land colony over here to use that. So, I think I'm gonna have it go down, no matter what. Uh-oh. Oh, phew! Synth Metal Sentinels did pretty well. Oh, yeah, those are our allies too, the Gaians. If you recall, we're allied with the Gaians and with the Morganites. Some eclectic. Do we have a road here?
Terraform
No, we do not.
complete.
And let's build a solar array. Ah, good. Okay, so that's clear. I'll just build a forest right here. Or plant a forest just so it looks nice. Clean that. Build a road. Solar collector.
At atrociously high energy
Excellent.
states, the properties of matter change subtly and new miracles become possible. The plasma accretion process is now dangerous and difficult to control, but its products will soon become commonplace in our society. Sister Miriam Godwinson, The Lord Works.
Alright, so we got high energy chemistry. This is really what we needed. We'll be able to upgrade our defenses quite a bit with the plasma steel armor. It also allows you to build nerve gas pods, which you can use, but those are considered atrocities, so you do have to think about that. And it allows us to research the technologies of advanced subatomic theory and synthetic fossil fuels. And so what did Sister Miriam say? She says, at atrociously high energy states, the properties of matter change subtly and new miracles become possible. So that's an interesting statement in its own right. Yeah, I like it's typical of her, the way she makes her statements. Even when she's giving you good news, she puts it in kind of a alarming way at atrociously high energy states. But yeah. It's just like, at different temperatures, matter acts or exists in different forms. How, at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius, water is becomes a solid. And above it, it is a liquid, and once it hits 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit, it becomes a gas. And of course, at the same time, other materials, they all have their, the point where they become solids, liquids, and gases. And I think there's like moons, like some of the moons of Jupiter or Saturn, where the water, the H2O it's like rock. It's like the rock making up the ground. And the liquid there is, I think, methane. And whereas on our planet, methane, the temperatures on our planet, Earth, methane exists as a gas, unless you cool it and compress it. But, so it's, I don't know. So at atrociously high energy states, apparently matter starts to exhibit new properties, as she calls it, numericals. The plasma accretion process is now dangerous and difficult to control, but its products will soon become commonplace in our society. Yeah, at the beginning of any technology, it's dangerous, tentative, and there's usually huge facilities to do a very basic instance of whatever we're talking about. But at some point, it's going to be everywhere and a matter of course, and people will act like it's always been the case. Let's see what they have to say. Breakthroughs in applied physics and industrial base lead to an understanding of high energy chemistry. This discipline seeks to understand the properties and behavior of matter at very high temperatures and results in new types of materials that remain in a stable plasma state even when superheated by intense laser stimulation. So that's interesting. The technology before this was, a little bit before, was lasers, and now we're putting those lasers to work to create even more powerful things. All right, cool. Let's see what they have for us. This is what we wanted right here. The plasma garrison. Very decent early mid game defensive troop. Pretty cheap, and it has a defensive bonus score of 3. Done. And what else? The Empath Impact Rover has good armor, good weapon. The Impact Destroyer, good armor. Impact Squad, alright. Impact Invaders. Now, what should we study next? Neurografting is really useful because it allows you to build a bioenhancement center, which gives +2 morale to all your various types of, whether it's infantry or like land vehicles, planes, or boats. Missile launchers, that's really good too. Oh, fungicidal tanks, that'll upgrade our formers. I think we should actually get this. Oh, but should we? Optical computers, heavy artillery. Yeah, let's do synthetic fossil fuels. All right. Now there's the Morganite formers. What are they doing here? I wonder. Getting in our way? No, probably not. Hopefully not.
Complete.
All right, go. You continue to work there. Oh, here's Morgan again. Let's see what he's up to. He has a treaty with Lady Deidre, a truce with the university, and of course he's our pact brother. He's ambivalent. All right, he has a free market democracy that focuses on wealth. Huh. Ah, Sister Miriam the Pious, it is ever a pleasure to match wits with you. I, CEO Morgan of the Morganites, am at your service. That's very polite. Though through cooperation we can achieve mutual satisfaction of needs. Will you transmit your files on high energy chemistry in exchange for my information on intellectual integrity? Think of how your life of worship could be enhanced by proper use of such knowledge. Sure. That is satisfactory.
Man's unfailing capacity to believe what he prefers to be true, rather than what the evidence shows to be likely and possible, has always astounded me. We long for a caring universe which will save us from our childish mistakes. And in the face of mountains of evidence to the contrary, we will pin all our hopes on the slimmest of doubts. God has not been proven not to exist. Therefore, he must exist.
Or
Academician Proctor Zaharov, for I have tasted the fruit.
For I have tasted the fruit. Yeah, the fruit of knowledge. Yeah, whatever, punk. But yeah, so he says, well, let's see what it does. Intellectual integrity allows us to build the Citizens Defense Force, which is a secret project. Allows us to study cyber ethics and planetary economics. And we can have these unit advances, high morale, and non-lethal weapons. I think non-lethal weapon methods allows your troops to be better at policing, and they have a higher police capacity, and so, which can be good. You can make a police unit, in fact, and move it around to those bases where they're having drone riots. and they can deal with them without, killing your own people, which is always nice. Man's unfailing capacity to believe what he prefers to be true rather than what the evidence shows to be likely and possible has always astounded me. That's very true. People, all of us tend to believe what we want to believe, or in a less obvious form, we believe what seems likely or what is intuitive rather than what actually is been shown to be possible or shown to be the case. Sometimes that which shows the evidence shows to be likely. Oh, that evidence shows to be likely. That's a different thing. Sometimes what we prefer to be true is not really what we prefer, but rather what seems true to us. Anyways, we long for a caring universe which will save us from our childish mistakes, and in the face of mountains of evidence to the contrary, we will pin our hopes on the slimmest of doubts. So, he's making several claims here, as one of my friends would say. He's making lots of claims, and we need to break these all down, but we don't have that much time. So, he says that we want a caring universe which will save us. And in the face of mountains of evidence to the contrary. So apparently he says we have mountains of evidence to the contrary that the universe is not caring. I don't know what evidence you have specifically, but you can sort of guess what he's getting at. That bad things happen whether you like it or not. And just because something bad happens and you wish something would help you, it doesn't always do so. And the only thing that helps us is putting in the effort, And even then, it doesn't always work. We will pin all our hopes on the slimmest of doubts. He's basically admitting that, and this is not a bad admission, that most of these big questions, is there a purpose in life? Is there God? Does God exist? Does the universe have a sort of a teleology beyond itself? Any of these questions don't seem to really, the arguments against them are not conclusive. Maybe they can gather lots of evidence or supporting, but at the end of the day, they're really just probabilistic arguments that always leave at least some doubt. So God has not been proven not to exist, therefore he must exist. This is what he's saying that is a good example of this sort of wishful thinking. So he's saying that people reason, well, God hasn't been shown not to exist, therefore he has to exist. Well, one could say, that maybe a lot of people do think that way. On the other hand, I think most people would say God hasn't been shown to not exist, therefore I'm still justified in believing that he exists. Not that he doesn't exist because he has not been proven not to. But, he might say, oh yeah, sure. But everything points to him not existing except for the inability of logic to completely rule it out. But you might say, on the other hand, there's a lot of things that we want to, you could turn this around and say, we want to prove, we long for a universe in which we are not responsible to anything greater than ourselves. That we are the only rational entities that exist. That, our human projects are the highest form of rationality in the universe. Or that, there's the thing that in the face of every instinct, every bit of reasoning, every bit of logic that would say that a universe cannot come from nothing, that nothing can start itself, that if the Big Bang, let's say something like the Big Bang happened, it couldn't make itself happen. If there was a singularity, it couldn't simply go from a perfect singular state to going forth. It's kind of like the old thing with Lucretius and the ancient Epicureans. They said, well, in the beginning there was just atoms falling in the void, evenly, perfectly, whatever. And then somehow the swerve happened. Oh, how'd the swerve happen? Well, the swerve has to happen so that they start bouncing off each other and hooking together and accreting and, whatever, to form the world. But when asked, how did the swerve happen? Epicureans can only go, the ancient atomists can only go, it just did. Nothing ever does that, though. Well, but it has to. Well, intellectual integrity would say, materialist, you are basically believing what you would prefer to be true rather than what all logic, all evidence, and all rational thought would say has to be the case. So these things go both ways, and probably more ways. The search for intellectual integrity arises from questions posed by ethical calculus and doctrine loyalty. That's interesting right there, right? Because so ethical calculus is sort of like what our reasoning, it suggests like what our reasoning demonstrates or argues needs to be the case or needs to be done, versus doctrine loyalty, which gives rise to like, I'll be committed and loyal to this regardless of any hardship, regardless of any opposition. And the clash between these two things, this is when intellectual integrity has to be formalized. According to this philosophy, valid wisdom comes merely from asking questions unburdened by prejudices. Only by shedding those preconceived notions can we achieve the clarity of undistorted knowledge. Of course, many thinkers, many philosophers and whatnot have you, would raise the question as to whether the the starting place that doesn't come from somewhere, the perfectly objective starting place, undistorted knowledge, if you want to call it, knowledge without bias, is that even possible? I mean, it's definitely a good thing to try to purify your thought. But can we ever get it to the point where we're not coming from somewhere? And why are you interested in this question always affects, even if you're being as honest as you can and logically strict as you can, even the knowledge you gain and that you dig into is because of some interest. And interest is always bias. And bias isn't necessarily bad, but I don't know, it's good questions. We have, let's see, that was a huge lecture, and thank you, I'm done. Okay, trained impact speeders. High morale. All right, okay. Well met, sister. May our pact of brotherhood endure forever. Well, I hope it does, pal, because you're really helping us out a lot. We're helping you out. Let's see. Yeah, pal? Let's see, this is a rocky area, so let's build a mine. Okay, now we need to see where are we going to put this one. I can put it right here, right? Yes. Forest expands near Far Jericho. Interlude from the Book of Planet. Jessica, I need you to go join Dr. Westcott's team at New Jerusalem, you say, indicating a base in the secure zone on your 3D hollow. Secure zone. There is no secure zone. Oh, I guess New Jerusalem. That's a capital. If that place isn't safe, nowhere is. Standing below the dais of your audience chamber, your aide appears no older than she did on the day she first joined your personal staff. Jessica has clearly kept to a strict longevity regimen. Now at 163 planet years, one of your most effective talents, she is ready for her first major independent assignment. Have I offended, sister, that you send me away? Hardly, Jessica. Your DNA prints indicate an aptitude for the new psi training. A genetic diagram swirls into view on the hollow, with the relevant portion of chromosome 21 highlighted. Dr. Westcott and his military ecologists have been breeding mindworm specimens in captivity, and they believe that a properly trained telepathy can be bonded to the nascent boil, making it an extension of the self. Become a mindworm? Jessica asked, somewhat horrified. Become? Not really. Control? Yes. Yes, Jessica, the military potential of this discovery cannot be overemphasized, and you are the only talent I trust for such an assignment. We need brood trainers, Jessica, and I need you to be the first, the leader. As you wish, sister, Jessica says, steeling herself to the mission. As she retreats from the dais, you are troubled by a vision of Jessica clawing at her face, mottled worms spilling from her eye sockets. You hope you have not signed her death warrant, for she has been a most promising talent.
Production
Yikes.
complete.
All right. Mission year 2263, Sister Miriam inaugurates the Believing Psi Corps with mankind's first successful captive breeding of the native life forms. Oh boy. Well, we're getting there.
Production complete.
Yikes. Oh, there's the mine worms. Yay, mine worms. Mine worms. What should New Jerusalem build now? I think we should all... What? Let's build a Citizens Defense Force. This will give us a perimeter defense each base. That's what I thought the Command Nexus did, but no, the Command Nexus does a command center in each base. Ooh, man. Well, let's do it.
Project
New Jerusalem actually
initiated.
has been building so many big projects and stuff like that. It's kind of lacking in basic amenities, I suppose you call it. Let's move them out. Take them out for a spin. Mine worms away. Okay, they have their second. Oh, that's right. I should change that. All right. Do you have? No, you don't. We need to build. What should we build here? Pressure dome? Yeah, let's build a pressure dome. Okay, I think this area might be good. Although this is going to be an arid area. Maybe we should push it. Oh, there's the Gaians. Oh yeah, I knew that already. Maybe we should push this over here, right? This area is probably better. Although I could build a town here and one over there. Let's do that. Hallowed ground and no. Take off thy sandals, for thou standest is holy ground. What's that from? 10 Commandments. Let's see, what should we call this place? We'll call this Saint Peter and no. Peter. Saint Peter and Paul. There's a good name. Chief Librarian. Okay, Synth Metal Sentinels? I don't think so. Oh, well, actually, maybe so. Let's see, where are the plasma garrisons? Yeah, 5 turns. Yeah. Let's build it. Clear the fungus. You come down here.
Enemy project initiated.
Of course he has. Zakharov is like, no, I want it. I want all the
Production
projects.
complete.
Even though I'm trying to get all the projects. Pressure dome. Let's build. Let's build a biology lab or a... Ooh. How about an energy bank? An economy bonus might be good. It would be really good. Ooh, I wonder if right here... Yeah, let's just go down.
Terraform complete.
Go, little mine worms. Alright, road. Plant a forest. I keep saying build a forest. Let's build a forest!
Terraform complete.
Mind bottom. Okay. Let's go up. Man, what's it called? The Gaians mine worm boils are big. Let's plant a forest.
Complete.
Clear fungus. Let's build a road. Okay. That should be good. Now, one thing is your mine worms can travel on the fungus squares really easily. Oh no, that's my neighbor's territory, darn it.
Bot recovered.
A xenofungal bloom. Oh, darn it. Let's see what she's up to. She better not be complaining about Morgan. That'll be annoying. Okay. Let's see what she's up to. Greetings to you, Sister Miriam. You are, as always, the most pious of us all, and your followers the most devout. Deidre, Lady of the Gaians, salutes you. I believe your data on intellectual integrity could have important implications for my environmental initiatives. I bet you they would, actually. I propose that you exchange this knowledge for my own files on ecological engineering. Interested? Heck yeah. I mean, this is a higher level technology anyways. It's a deal, yo.
The prevalence of anoxic environments, rich in organic material, combined with the presence of nitrated compounds, has led to an astonishing variety of underground organisms, which live in the absence of oxygen and breathe nitrate. Likewise, the scarcity of carbon in the environment has forced plants to economize on its use. Thus, all our efforts to return carbon to the biosphere will encourage the native life to proliferate. Conversely, the huge quantities of nitrate in the soil will be heaven to human farmers. Lady Deidre Skye, The Early Years.
All right. And so ecological engineering gives us the capacity to study the technologies Centauri meditation and environmental economics. I think environmental economics is ecological engineering combined with industrial economics. And so, yeah, no, this is good. Miscellaneous. It allows us to do mineral restrictions are lifted. We can produce +3 minerals, 3+ minerals per square, and farmers can execute the plant fungus order. That's cool. Okay, so let's see what she says. The prevalence of anoxic environments rich in organic material combined with the presence of nitrated compounds has led to an astonishing variety of underground organisms which live in the absence of oxygen and breathe nitrate. So, anoxic environments, those are environments that don't have access to significant amounts of oxygen. But these environments are nonetheless rich in organic material, and there's a lot of nitrated compounds, so nitrogen. So there's lots of organisms that don't use oxygen, but rather basically breathe nitrogen or nitrate. Likewise, the scarcity of carbon in the environment has forced plants to economize on its use. I think they said something about the fact that the ecosystem in here is so efficient at processing things, there isn't the carbon left over or something like that. I don't know. Thus, all our efforts to return carbon to the biosphere will encourage the native life to proliferate. Conversely, so any carbon that we do put in there goes a long ways to promoting native life because a little does a lot. Likewise, the scarcity of carbon in the Thus, all our efforts to return carbon. Conversely, the huge quantities of nitrate in the soil will be heaven to human farmers. Yeah, there's so much nitrate in the soil. It's a very farming friendly environment. So we can basically work in symbiosis, or we can basically both benefit if we do it smart. All right. Life forms have always shown remarkable skill at innovation and ingenuity in the face of environmental hurdles. Expansion on a new planet highlights these traits once again in the form of ecological engineering. Based on the discoveries of Centauri ecology and gene splicing, the research leads to new ways of thriving within the existing ecosystem rather than competing with it. All right, that's really cool. I don't know, this is sort of stuff that, I don't know, sometimes it makes me wish I had studied this in school, but I like what I studied. Philosophy is my bag, but that is cool stuff. Well met, sister. May our pact of sisterhood endure forever. And she's uploading her map to us, which is really cool. All right, I think we're good. Thanks a lot. Our infiltrator reports that the peacekeepers have lost the UN Information Agency to the university. Man.
Production
University's
complete.
being very aggressive. That's not good. At all. Let's go over here. Let's send you over that way. You can go up here, and that's another kelp farm. Okay, we have an empath impact speeder. Okay, what should we have them build there? How about something that does resources, or pressure dome? Yeah, let's do a pressure dome. Where should I have this thing go? You can go over to Silverbird Park. We'll visit our allies' base. I think this should be good. Yeah. Let's build it. Bam sis. He walked on water. That's a pretty good name, but I mean, it's referencing, of course, Jesus famously walking on the Sea of Galilee. But I'm still not going to call that. But that's a cool name. But here, what should we call it? I think I'm going to call it Mary, Star of the Sea. Mary, Star of the Sea, founded in 2267. Look at that. That's cool. Little sea town. Haha. Synth metal sentinels. Change. Change the plasma garrison.
Turn complete.
Alright. You build a road.
Terraform complete.
You clear fungus. You build a farm. You build a road? We have a road? No, we don't. Okay. Mindworms, you go cruise down this way. Kelp expands near Far Jericho.
Proper care and education for our children remains a cornerstone of our entire colonization effort. Children not only shape our future, they determine in many ways our present. Men and women work harder knowing their children are safe and close at hand. And never forget that, with children present, parents will defend their home to the death. Colonel Corazon Santiago, Planet, a Survivalist's Guide.
Alright, we built our first children's crèche. That's a, basically a children's rearing center, basically. And so, as Colonel Corazon said, children are our future, literally. I mean, demographically, they're literally the future. But also, the presence of people's children makes them have an investment in the continued project of society. And as she's also said, people are much more likely to defend the colony or the city if they know their children and their loved ones lives are at stake. They're defending their families, not just, some, base in the middle of nowhere. All right, that should boost the efficiency, the growth, and production of this base, which is cool. All right, let's actually have you do what? I think you. Actually, where are you? Bethany. Where is Bethany? That was Bethany, right? Oh, right here. Okay. Should I have them build what? Let's build a recreation commons for now. Or no, change. I think we'll build a ship. Impact destroyer or a cruiser transport. Let's build an impact destroyer. That'll be good. Alright, cool. You go over there. No. I don't want. Oh, I see. It will help. Now here's a question. Will it actually make the prototype complete? I'm starting to think I need to learn more about what alien artifacts can do. No.
Terraform complete.
Road. Oh,
Nutrient resources.
All right. It's approaching perihelion, so next 20 years there's going to be more mine worms.
Maximum population reached.
Godwinson's Hope has reached maximum population. All right, we'll have to build a hab complex there. Habitation complex. It allows us to expand the size of our city beyond, I think, 7. I think it is. All right, let's actually have you go here. All right, well, I think I'm going to call this episode complete. So thank you for joining me on this episode of my Let's Play of Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri here on my channel, Idle Wisdom. Take care, y'all.